Our friends, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and a very special welcome to the second edition of the Philanthropy Asia Summit 2022. Thank you for joining us today. You energize us with your presence and, most importantly, your interest to work together for a better world. You and I are fully aware of the many grave challenges facing the world. Some are the consequences of an unpredictable global pandemic. Others result from specific man-made decisions, be it the invasion of Ukraine, the fragile energy infrastructure in Europe, or the interest rates hikes the world over. Our gravest challenge is climate change. We are already seeing signs everywhere. The ancient ice shelves in the Antarctica are crashing down. They call it calving. It sounds so nice, birthing. Floods have covered 1/3 of Pakistan, the size of Great Britain. We are becoming the proverbial frog, reacting to the boiling water only when it's too late. This morning, I would like to share my thoughts on 4 major priorities, the 4 Ps that I see in the non-profit space. I will also touch on how Temasek Trust will work with the participants of this summit and others to help catalyze actions for a more sustainable and resilient world. First and foremost, we are already headed towards a much warmer world with more extreme climate changes to come. We know how localized climate changes in the past and in an ancient past have destroyed old empires and ancient civilizations. Without a livable world, modern civilization can also collapse overnight. And well before the world becomes unlivable, the stresses and disasters of climate change will disproportionately fall on the poor and the disadvantaged. Hence, I put to you that our planet must be a top priority for the next 10, 30, 50, 100 years, and longer. What else should we focus on in these troubled times? I would suggest that peace is the second most important P for collective action. Peace is necessary for a better world. Without peace, children cannot go to school, and the sick cannot access medical care. Without peace, we cannot plan and build long-term infrastructure, not just hard infrastructure like fiber and satellite networks, but also important soft infrastructure like open and objective judicial system, accessible and inclusive education, or a just and pragmatic transition with a future-ready workforce. Peace is rather elusive too. There are no clear blueprint for success. Peace depends on building human bridges of understanding across all sorts of intangible social and international divide. These include religious or political quarrels, race or language conflicts, wealth or digital divides. Often, these human divides result from exclusion. So the peace we need to work towards must be the peace of an inclusive world, whether within a society, within a country, or among nations. The prerequisite for peace includes trust and goodwill. Peace can come only by connecting people, like we are doing today, by fostering a deep respect for common humanity, by nurturing a more self-confident and open-minded acceptance of a diverse and plural world. The third P is, without doubt, people. All these efforts for planet and peace are really to enable people and mankind to survive and thrive for decades and centuries to come. Education, healthcare, even digital and financial inclusion are some of the most powerful ways to uplift lives and livelihoods and build socially connected communities in a diverse world. The fourth P is progress. Living beings are not static. We grow, change, we learn, unlearn, relearn, and adapt along the way. The cycle of learn, earn, and return for people as well as corporations is critical for societies to progress. The pandemic has taught us that we make progress by investing in knowledge, capabilities, and capacities, and by marshalling resources across the world to deliver solutions. Above all, the pandemic has reminded us that no one is safe until everyone is safe. Hence, progress must be both just and inclusive, leaving no one behind. We need to embrace a progressive mindset of care for others, including our future generations yet unborn. This leads me to the enabling P of partnerships. Without partnerships, it is hard to deliver on the 4 Ps of planet and people, peace and progress. To go far, we must go together. But partnerships require trust and patience to build mutual confidence. It requires courage to go out of our comfort zone and a huge heart to lean in to help others to succeed. Above all, it requires an open mind to embrace the diversity of people and the ingenuity of ideas not yet invented by ourselves. The starting point for Philanthropy Asia Summit is to connect people and build partnerships to act for the greater good. For this second edition today, the calls to actions are focused on 3 key themes: climate action and sustainable communities as one. Next is inclusive education, and last but not least, resilient healthcare. Once again, like-minded partners are connecting resources and capabilities to foster innovations, to drive momentum, and to scale impact on the ground. Following the inaugural summit last year, many participants have told us that they were keen to see a more systematic and structured approach for catalyzing partnerships for action. Over the past few weeks, several institutions, foundations, and supporters have stepped up readily with an initial funding of over $200 million to start up an alliance for action. We call this the Philanthropy Asia Alliance. Founding core members include Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and Dalio's Philanthropists from USA, the Li Ka-shing Foundation from Hong Kong, as well as 4 companies of cinemas and the Tanoto Foundation from Indonesia. These early core members have committed $25 million each. Other Pathfinder partners, members, and supporters have committed between $1 to $10 million each. Temasek Trust 2 has pledged $100 million to underwrite the operations of the alliance. Different members have different interests. For instance, the Dalio Philanthropies is highly focused on exploring and protecting our oceans across the world, while the Tanoto Foundation is keen to focus on education to uplift lives and livelihoods. We expect to onboard more members in the coming months. Some will add their financial heft, while others will provide their domain expertise. For example, the World Economic Forum is coming on board as a strategic partner for this alliance. Others, like Freshfields, Brookhouse, Derringer, and the Wong Partnership, have selflessly offered pro bono legal support to help set up this alliance. I'm humbled by and give my heartfelt thanks to everyone for this overwhelming and early vote of confidence for a more coordinated and integrated approach with Philanthropy Asia Alliance. Clearly, it is also a heavy responsibility for Temasek Trust to work with all the Alliance members and partners in the months and years ahead to deliver impactful outcomes. Indeed, Asia can be a force for the greater good. The Alliance will curate, catalyze, and support partnerships for action, such as this summit. It will convene, connect, and combine the best of Asia and international resources, ideas, and organizations. The Alliance aims to develop, adapt, and seed solutions that are relevant to the diverse context of Asia. As we work towards a formal launch of the Alliance in the next 9 to 12 months, I take this opportunity to thank Mr. Lim Boon Heng, Chairman of Temasek Holdings, for kindly agreeing to chair a Pro Tem Council for the Alliance. The Pro Tem Council will develop the governance framework to respect the focused interests of our Alliance members. This could include separate councils to guide program curation or track program outcomes and impact measurement. The framework must also support the adaptation of solutions for the varied local conditions or the complexities of multilateral efforts. These could include pilots, for instance, such as innovative approaches like Pay for Success. In closing, I would like to thank Singapore Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Lawrence Wong, as well as Indonesia Health Minister Pak Budi Gunadi Sadikin, for sharing their experience and insights at this summit. Pak Budi just flew in this morning, landed, and came straight to the conference. Thank you. And then he has to go back because he has meetings back in Indonesia. Thank you. A thank you too to all the summit lead partners this year for their energetic efforts to champion specific calls to action. This hybrid summit is an example of learning to live with COVID-19. So it is fitting for me to publicly thank all the friends and partners, some of them who are here. They have worked tirelessly with Temasek Foundation. Their swift and selfless response over the past 2+ years have helped people mitigate some of the most horrific impact of the pandemic. Finally, thank you all again for honoring us with your presence, support, and friendship. I wish everybody and everyone a fruitful summit. Thank you.